We're coming to the end of this phase of humanity. And I don't think at this point in our lives, anybody should be messing around. I think we should all get down and get dirty. If we don't change that trajectory of where humans are at, stuck in addiction, stuck in doom and gloom, stuck in, it's never worked for me, then we're gonna go with the flow of what's happening with Earth.
My beautiful guest today is Sonya Grace. She is a spiritual healer, mystic, and she is also a straight shooter. I loved her. She's awesome because we dive into some powerful truths around about why humanity is feeling stuck right now, the karmic loops that keep repeating the same pain, which is really fascinating, and why she believes we're at the end of an era right now. This conversation is not only about healing, it's about responsibility and the chance that we have all to break free and create something new and also create something extraordinary. And that's what this podcast is all about, right? Be sure to let me know what you think of this conversation with Sonya in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, of course. And by the way, you might see on here, we've got HEARTT, because they say the longest journey is the shortest one from our head to our heart. And we've just actually created a free printout PDF. We're making it freely available about this acronym here. It's actually an acronym with double T, as you can see. And there'll be a link below in the show notes if you want to get that out. It's the fundamental teachings that we actually start with in all our retreats and all our events. So grab yourself one. It's free. Print it on the fridge and it'll help you get from your head to your heart during every day, which is what it's all about, right? Anyway, enjoy this podcast with Sonya. Much love from me, and hopefully I'll meet you somewhere in person someday soon. Sonya, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Likewise, like we mentioned off air, I've been watching you from afar for quite some time, and I always believe in divine timing, and I feel today is certainly going to present itself in that way for us, divine timing. But I'm always curious, Sonya, as well, and interestingly enough, I wanted to start the podcast a little bit differently today because I feel like I've been going through my own metamorphosis again at the moment. Sometimes I have to remind myself that it's happening for me, not to me, and be present with what is when you're in the soup, if you like. But I bring this up because the world right now really can feel chaotic if we tune into it. But I'm an optimist, and I love leaning into, you know, what's our potential, and from your spiritual experiences and from your life and how you see things, what do you feel is human potential? What are we capable of as humans? It's such an interesting time.
You know, I really wanted to talk about this today because there's so many angles I want to approach on this topic. But to answer your immediate question, what we're capable of that is the most powerful medicine of all is hope. Oh my God, it makes me cry. It's like we have the ability to have hope for ourselves, for each other, for the planet, for our community, for the people who lost their home and the flood, whatever. It's like we have a direct line to hope. And with hope, we generate compassion, empathy, and a propensity to survive. And our whole society is extremely addicted to doom and gloom right now and to what could happen. And yes, I've even said in my own work, we're at the end of this phase of humanity. We are, we came in when Atlantis fell. Many of us came before Atlantis fell. We experienced both Atlantis and Lemuria towards the end of that phase of humanity. And we all signed up. We all said, okay, we're going to do this, and we're going to incur karma. We're going to reincarnate lifetime after lifetime. And we did. And here we are. We're coming to the end of this phase of humanity. Does it have to be like Atlantis? No. Does it have to be like Lemuria? No. Is it up to us Absolutely. But part of the problem is different parts of society is not where we're at in thinking. It's stuck in that cycle of doom and gloom. So we have to be inspirational and help people pull themselves up by the bootstraps and say, no, we don't have to experience it this way again. We can shift that consciousness. And, bravo to the spiritual community that is working on shifting that consciousness. That's fantastic. But what I wanted to get at is the root cause. The root cause of much of the dysfunction that we see in our societies is exactly that. We are now a very dysfunctional society. We come from dysfunctional families. We've got all kinds of addiction, from alcohol to pot to drugs, gaming, texting, shopping, eating. Oh my God, we're just so addicted. And in that environment of addiction, we have the other groups that become the codependents with the addicts. How can I help you? How can I care for you? Oh, I want to take care of people. I want to help people. Well, are you coming from a codependent platform and you just haven't figured it out yet? Or are you truly working, a 12-step program, something that's going to help you get out of that codependency and truly see what it means to be in service? Because those are two different things. Some of my most addicted clients are nurses,
It's
and that's that codependency thing.
it's such a huge thing that you speak of here, and it's interesting. It's like we've been conditioned to treat symptoms constantly.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we even get then rewarded for treating those symptoms, which is great, and we feel like we're actually making a difference, and to a degree we might be taking the pain away in the short term, but long term it doesn't feel like it's changing anything until we get to the roots, until we get to really what's causing it.
And exactly. And people call me, I work with 8 to 10 people a day. I mean,
Wow.
my schedule's just crazy full. And people will call me and say, well, hi, Sonya, I'm still in Peru. I did an ayahuasca ceremony and I can't get out of this space that I'm in. And they're totally goofed up, not knowing what they were doing, not knowing what the medicine is, not knowing that they were simply feeding another part of their addicted side that wants to feel something. And that takes me back to why. Why are we all searching for this spiritual wow, the wow factor? What are we looking for? And I know it seems impossible, but I've been in this field for 44 years. And I have worked with over 1 million people in my career. And I can tell you that people are not seen and not heard and extremely wounded in childhood, lots of trauma, lots of, emotional wounding, which is also our karma. Karma is unresolved emotional wounds. So if someone steps into the spiritual, industry, oh, I'm going to be a healer, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, but they haven't done the deep inner processing work, then like that call, hi, I'm in Peru and I'm totally goofed up and I just did an ayahuasca ceremony. What? So, it's like I'm rescuing a lot of these people who are trying to do this stuff and they don't know really what they've stepped into. They don't realize that the person in Peru who's leading the ayahuasca ceremony, is wounded and totally dysfunctional themselves, and they're trusting them to go through this ceremony. So I'm like a no drugs person. I'm totally about getting high naturally and sitting in meditation and raising the frequency to such a point that everybody feels altered, because that's the best place to be.
Amen. And that's coming completely from within. That's coming from us
Yes.
ourselves, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. I have a once a month a meditation called the Meditation Peace Project. And it is designed for, people who sign up to sit with me for an hour, and we go into a deep state of peace. And I said to them this morning, what is it people are looking for when they are going off into this spiritual industry? What are they looking for? And I said, every time you figure out what it is you're looking for, it brings you back around to peace. I want to feel peace. I don't want to have pain. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to feel at odds with my partner or my people. It's really about finding peace, And I told the people that were with me today in my meditation, I said, I'm so proud of you guys, because this is really what it's about. It's about sitting in the center in a state of peace, not engaging in duality, not going to this side, going, they're right. Oh, yeah, I believe it. No, this side's right. It's like the duality that pulls us apart and keeps us from that place of observation. Yeah.
I love it. If I had, what it would like, I'd be pump. What I call it, I was thinking like a cheerleader. I can't remember the names of the things that they shake around. Pom poms. That's what I'd be pulling them out right now after exactly what you said. But everything you say and has reflected in my own journey. In that, once I got it and actually was starting to go within, I've been blown away, and I'm still blown away that what my energy field can hold, and the resonance and the wounds and the ancestral wounds and the karmas and the different things that have slowly been clearing over time. And what that's done is made me feel so at home in my body, and at so at peace with myself. My whole world is completely flipped and changed from that state of being.
Because when we go after the deficit that's inside of us, the inner child who didn't feel seen or heard or valued or respected or trusted, and we start to heal that on the inner, everything in the outer changes. And, I believe that from the time we're in the womb until we're 3 years old, we're imprinting everything about our parents. We get all their psychology, and that overlays our karma. So our karma mixes in with that, and it becomes our own psychology. And from 4 years old on, we're simply repeating cycles. We're going through the motions. So even as adults, we are creating Broadway level productions to reenact the emotional wounds from childhood. It's insane. It's insane. That's why I tell everybody, I get it. You want to reach nirvana. The way to nirvana is do the inner work. Get out those emotional wounds, excavate them from the body, and make space for new stuff.
Get into the weeds, right? Stop. Get your hands dirty. Look, everything you say, because I'm trying to think of the right way of framing this, because it really feels like we're spiritually devoid in Western society. We're so distracted that there's no reverence to spirit, to earth, to these innate connections that you see across so many indigenous and ancient cultures. That connection was there, and that was the guiding light. And we've become so reliant on the mind and the thinking brain that we've completely severed the body, the heart wisdom, and the connection to source that's ever present. Right. And I think for me, once I had a sniff, or once I actually started to experience that connection through healing a wound, that got me really excited and inspired to lean into these very things and break my own addictions to whatever they might be at that time.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were just to my own
Hmm.
emotions and my own stories that I'd
Right. Right.
circulated in my brain my
Right.
entire
We
life.
get addicted. We get addicted to the pain that we were in. We're not even in that pain anymore, and we're still talking about it. You know, we experience so much loss and so much hardship and so much suffering in this world. And all people want to feel is good. They want to feel good. They want to feel like they're acknowledged. They are valid. They are special. All of those things drive society to what is an overlay of competition, addictions. Oh, let me advertise the heck out of that so you become addicted to it. And yay, we made a lot of money and you're addicted. It's like we've got all these overlays. So how do we cut through that? How do we get around the competition and the feelings of inadequacy?
Yeah.
Just like you said, we have to go within. We have to sit in meditation. I don't care how boring it is. It is the place, in my humble opinion, that we can get at all that we need to get at. And the reason we came here, clear back at the beginning of this phase of humanity, was to connect with the earth. That is our main purpose, is to connect with the earth. Her energy comes up and affects our electromagnetic field. Our energy should be going down into the earth, grounding in her. Oh my God, it's like so crazy how far people have gotten from the very natural element that makes us so magical. Really. I mean, you're from Wales, you know
I
that.
do.
The land there is freaking
Yeah.
magical. Yeah.
Were you born with these gifts that you have and the spiritual path, or did it come
Yeah.
at a later point with an awakening? Or
No. Yeah, no, I was born this way. And I, you know, I was I grew up on a farm. I was totally in my own world because I saw I could I could see, hear, feel, smell, and taste everything in the unseen world.
wow.
So I'm having conversations with all kinds of stuff when I was a kid, and my poor mom didn't really know what to do with me other than she threw me in ballet class, and I ended up training and dancing as a professional ballerina for about 15 years. And then, I was also an artist. So I was painting and showing my art. And I trained with 3 different teachers over the span of probably 10 years. And I, you know, I, they helped me identify these gifts and learn how to manage this ability that I have, manage it from a place of authenticity and and truth. I mean,
Wow. Because
yeah,
I was,
really important stuff.
yeah, I was going to ask you that, because I've had obviously many conversations on you, and a few people have been born with gifts, but many have tried suppressing it and didn't, and ran away from it and turned to drugs and alcohol, didn't know what to do with it. They didn't
Mhm,
have any encouragement or any
mhm.
space. Was that like for you, or was it that
Oh, sure. I had a 10-year run in my life.
okay?
Well, yeah, as a professional ballerina, I mean, smoking, drinking, and everything else in between because I mean, I was so young and I was trying to manage all this stuff and I had no one in my life to help me. I had no one to guide me. And yet I would walk down the street with friends and go, "How come there's yellow all over that person's face and that other person has purple all around them?" And everybody would look at me like, "What is happening to you?" So, yeah, I went through my wild
Okay.
10-year spree. Sure.
Do we
Sure.
all have that potential to allow us to be that connected to source, to spirit, like the human, or
No,
do you think it's part of a different soul journey or
at
contract?
first, okay, the first thing I want to say is we are infinite souls having a human experience. So, how much more spectacular can we get? We're infinite souls. Oh my God, what does that mean? That means we've always been, we will always be. And when we die and we go to heaven and we reconnect with God, the creator, the goddess, when we connect, we're like getting, our battery recharged, and then we come back. Now, there's an interesting point. We're not coming back after this lifetime. Many of the children being born will herald the next phase of humanity. But for most of us, this is our last time. And I know a lot of people out there are excited about that because they don't want to come back. But I'm going to tell you that we are always connected to the goddess, and that is Earth. She has a round blue body that is beautiful, and it's incredible. It keeps us alive. But when that body is no longer, she will move to another body out in the universe, and we will go to her there. We are tethered to her. That's why it's so important for us to go outside and to talk to her and to give our prayers to her and ground our energy in her. It's so important. And I do think that everybody has an empathic ability. Everybody is wired in such an incredible, sensitive way. What makes us each individually different is we each have different karma that we're here working out. You know, I was a house painter in one life, and you were a singer. I mean, those are two different paths of things that we have to work out. The connections that we have is you experienced abandonment, I experienced abandonment. You experienced betrayal, I experienced betrayal. So we connect on those emotional feelings, but the karma of the action was different.
Have you been able to experience and see your past lives? Have you been able to?
Oh yeah, I do past life readings for people. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, when I read past lives, it's wild. It's like a hologram opens up in my office, and I'm seeing
wow.
what happened to the person and how they died, and who they I see all of it, and then I just blab it out. Like, don't talk to me while it's happening. And then I blab it out and tell them what happened. And then, again, you know, it's so hard to do some of these things and tell people what you're able to do because there's so many people who don't yet believe or trust in this kind of
Yeah.
thing. And all I can say to those people is when you learn to trust yourself, you will hear me. You will hear this. It's a lack of trust of your own intuition that causes you to feel uncertain about things in this realm. But I am able to go in and clear karma from a past life. And I've had some wild experiences with people who have gone in and cleared something karmically. For example, these two women in Canada called me and said, our brother has just gone missing in action. We haven't talked to him in years. He hasn't called mom in years. And we're really worried about him. I went in, cleared some things karmically, saw the lifetime where all of this stuff had happened. And they called me the next day and said, you're not going to believe what happened. I said, yes, I am. And they said, our brother out of the blue called our mother and told her that he had a dream, and the dream he recounted was exactly the past life that I had told them about. It was wild, and it brought the whole family back together. Yay!
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I I understand where you're coming from as well about people believing or not, and where the information comes from. Because if you're not in that space, for me, like once I started having experiences, then it really opened the door to go, oh my gosh, if this is happening, what else is possible? So it
Right.
really opens into that curiosity and possibility, and that's why I love talking to people like yourself, because over the journey, it's almost like the the perception of reality is widening for me over time.
Yeah.
It's slowly happening, you know, and it's just I
Yeah.
just find it fascinating. That's why I'm always curious about people like yourselves, and what is the potential from those aspects as well. Because even when I went to your website, it talked about Spirit Traveler and the documentary and different things and going back,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh my god, like I felt excited. I mean, what does all that mean? Could you explain or break that down a little bit for us, please?
Well, yeah. Years ago, I was at I was at the Wallowa Mountains, which is Eastern Oregon, with my husband, and we were in a cabin, and it was maybe an hour before nightfall. We were going to have dinner. I said, I want to sit down and just do like a 20-minute meditation. Just give me a little bit of time, then we'll go make dinner. And he sat down on the porch. He's like, yeah, great, no problem. I'm sitting on this little wooden bench. You can hear the creek going by. It was just beautiful. And I go into meditation, and my guides, who are high angelic beings, it's the only thing I work with, are angels. They hold their hand out and they said, we want you to experience something. And as they held their hand out, my body just like dissolved, like everything just kind of merged into the air and dissolved. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
And I took their hands and we went up and up and up and up and up. And I could feel it. I could feel like hair and all. It was weird. And we just kept going up and up. And I'm like, where are we going? And we got to what they said was the center of the universe. And I'm like, wow, I
Wow.
mean, my mind was blown. And the ant people, I talk about them in my Spirit Traveler books. I call them the Savrok, but they're literally, they look like ants, but they are people. So I call them, they're the ant people. And they're mostly known out at Hopi. I'm adopted at Hopi. I'm married to a Hopi man. You know, I'm Choctaw and Cherokee, half Norwegian. So, anyways, I have all this native sort of practice that goes on in my life. But there were the ant people at the center of the universe. And they said, we want you to experience this. And I go, what? And they said, we want you to step into this space. And it was like this milky substance. And I was kind of scared, you know, and I looked at my guides and they said, yeah, it's okay. And I stepped into that space. I kid you not, there are no words to express to you the level of bliss that I went into. I mean, unbelievable from head to toe, total bliss. And I'm in this space going, I'm never leaving here. I'm never coming out of this. And then all of a sudden, my guides are like, we have to go. I'm like, no. So, anyways, I take their hands, we thank the Savrok, and we go back down. It was 5 hours later.
Oh,
No, and my husband was sitting in the dark, holding vigil for me. It was wild. That was wild.
holy
Yeah.
moly.
So that was the beginning of my spirit traveling. Now, when I spirit travel, I can't go anywhere until I've gone into meditation and my whole body has literally dissolved like grains of sand into everything in the room. And then my guides give me their hand and we literally go back in time. And I've gone back to, you know, the pyramids. I've gone back to Atlantis. I've gone back to 250,000 BC. I mean, I've gone off planet. My spirit traveler books, you guys should read them because there's some very interesting information and stuff that I've shared that has since then been confirmed I remember in my first Spirit Traveler book, I wrote about Chichen Itza in Mexico, and the Temple of Kukulkan. And we went to the Temple of Kukulkan, and I looked at our guide and I said, have you seen the pyramid inside the Temple of Kukulkan? There's another pyramid in there. And he goes, oh, how do you know that? And I said, here's my book, read it. and then it was so funny. He's just shocked. And I said, have you seen the cenote that's under that pyramid? Oh, nobody knows that. How do you know that? So anyways, I've had some really great confirmation.
Holy moly. How do you, like, I'm just thinking selfishly here because I've had a couple of experiences where I've had my body completely dissolve. And it was randomly, like it woke me up in the middle of the night after as my awakening journey was going. And, you know, I absolutely freaked out. I'm like, this is not like it was, I mean, it was as real as this, but it just dissolved. But my eyes are closed and I'm like, am I here? Am I not here? And just trying to be with it. But then I pulled myself back because it's like, time out. What's going on here?
It's because of your heart. When we dissolve like that, it is because there is such an opening in the heart. Huh. And for your listeners, whether you're super skilled or you're just new to everything, the greatest power of all that we have is our love. That is the greatest power of all. And when we sit in meditation and we really sit in that heart space and we allow our love to expand, we are moving into that vibration that you're talking about. So we can then literally dissolve. Because, you know, I mean, watch enough TikTok and YouTube, you'll hear enough people say, we're just living in a big hologram, which is like, we are. I'm telling you, my husband and I were outside in our backyard one night. Being in Arizona, you can see the stars like super, super bright. And I'm looking up and I said, do you see that? And let's say a star is like this big. This thing was this big and it was white. And I go, do you see that? And he goes, yeah, what is that? And both of us felt it. We were just like shocked. And all of a sudden, I kid you not, it was as if someone zipped the bag back up and that thing went away. So in other words, here's this white object, and it was like someone just took a zipper and closed it, and the sky was dark again.
Wow.
Man, that was the one experience in my life that made me fully believe this is a hologram. This is like something else.
Yeah. And so you're saying, and I want to highlight this for the listeners, the way to get there and to start experiences, the best place to start is within the heart and start to really focus on the love.
To get your energy grounded and then sit in the heart space and feel that love really expanding, because it's so simple. And this is what I wanted to say to you when I wrote you that email. 5 ways to happiness, 10 ways to a better relationship, 12 ways to prosperity. Oh my God, how many ways? It's like I'm up to here with all the ways. And my feeling is just get yourself grounded and go into your heart and expand your love. That's all you need. I'm telling you. Well, you need the inner work, so call me for an appointment. But
here's the thing, though, Sonya. Because I get at our events, they'll come in, but they're so in their head, they won't even know what that means. Mm-hmm. To really connect with the heart, because
we're so disconnected between the heart and the head.
I know.
We are. And that goes back to addiction. That goes back to how long can I stay on my phone? It's keeping me feeling like I'm alive. And feeling alive, let's talk about that. What do you think happens in the womb that gives us the signal that we're alive? Any ideas?
No idea.
Okay, so while we're in the womb, mom is going through everything. Maybe she's scared. She didn't want to have a baby. Or maybe she's scared because she's having her first baby. Or maybe she's compulsive obsessive and she's kind of going through a lot of anxiety. Maybe dad is upset, doesn't want to have a baby. Or maybe dad is working hard and he's never there. That baby in the womb is experiencing an overall feeling, lots of feelings, but an overall feeling. And when we're born with that link, let's say the link is fear, that baby comes out into the world now, no longer in that cosmic spaceship called the womb, no longer trying to navigate, okay, I just came from God and I'm on this great, I'm in this rocket inside this human being and I'm going to be born. The baby is trying to figure out, what do I need to feel to be alive? And that link, like fear, becomes the lens of which the baby experiences everything all the way through their life. So think of people that you know or yourself where you have manifested situation after situation, friendship after friendship, relationship after relationship that has ended in some kind of fear element. Like, I feel fearful he left me. I feel fearful I was rejected. I feel fearful, nobody loves me. Everybody's gone. Okay. So all we're doing is we are affirming that we're alive. I know, like,
It's huge, isn't it?
brain explosion.
So,
Huh?
just from a science, my brain's gone into the science side of things for a sec, but
Science. Yes.
that information, like I look at it as information, it's all information. Like if the universe is a field of information, then
Right.
those, because I remember having a regression and feeling the anxiety of my mama's financial worries while I was in her womb, and I felt it release.
Right.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, like that,
Right.
No, I know when you have those, I remember having that for the first time thinking, oh my God, that was,
Yeah.
but where is that information? Is it in our cells? Is it in our DNA? Is it in our energy field? Like, how do you view it? Or is it all of it?
Well, I mean, I take people back and I do womb work. I'm doing a workshop about the wild womb that's coming up in October, but I think that people need to be guided through a process to get at that information. In my meditation retreat that I did in Scotland last June, I literally had everybody lay in a fetal position as they were in the womb, and we processed that way. And I'll probably do that with my workshop people as well, because I feel like the body, like if someone's in a car accident and they, like this is where they land.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they go into this position, they're triggering that trauma. Think about the trauma. I mean, my God, the traumas that we've experienced just from being kids and doing gymnastics or playing soccer and ending up laying on the field, like every which way. It's like we have to almost recreate the position and then do the processing work to release it from the body.
Yeah. So I think about all the people that are in power, in the governments, right? That are in economics, in the pharmaceutical industries, the financial,
are living with trauma.
They're all hurt, wounded children living out as adults.
Yep.
Essentially.
Yep. That's right. I tell people all the time, if you're afraid to speak publicly, and you've heard this from other people as well, visualize everybody in the audience as their inner child and talk to them. Because that is the processing channel that most people are using. You know, we're in projection, we're in transference. Oh, you must be my dad. I'm going to talk to you that way. Oh, you remind me of my mom. I'm going to talk to you that way. I mean, this is basic psychology. And, you know, God bless your listeners. You guys are waking up, or you're awake, which is great. But there's a whole big populace out there that's still doing all this stuff: projection, transference, you know, getting totally tangled with the emotional stuff and not seeing clearly that they're in their stuff.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, if there's a message I want to, like a take home, is that the key to all this is to go into the stuff and release it, which will allow, which
yes,
will then
100%.
bring us back to that state of peace, more groundedness, and then open us up to different spiritual experiences. But we're coming from a place of non-wounded and healing, as opposed to a place of bypassing or running away from it.
100%. 100%. You know, when I get clients that have had, something's flying in the room. When I get clients who've had, they've had really bad trauma in their childhood, they are terrified to face that trauma. And I am very careful and very meticulous about how to get them there and helping them process to get at that trauma. One client, she used to say to me, I've done 35 years of therapy, and in one session with you, I got more out of it than 35 years of therapy. And, you know, 40% of my clientele are psychologists and doctors and surgeons and people in the medical field. And I know why. And it's because I really go in there and get at the stuff rather than, oh, gee, you had a problem. And, you know, like, that's just smoke.
Yeah. Get back to the wound.
Get back to, get in there and get it done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mess around. And I don't think at this point in our lives, anybody should be messing around. I think we should all get down and get dirty, because if we don't change that trajectory of where humans are at, stuck in addiction, stuck in doom and gloom, stuck in, it's never worked for me, then we're gonna, you know, go with the flow of what's happening with Earth. We're gonna go with what the trajectory is with this planet, which is a lot of different things could happen. You know, we have a few earthquakes, few volcanic eruptions, and boom, we're in a new phase of humanity. Or we could have a whole bunch of comets hit the Earth. You know, we have a UFO headed for Earth. I'm sure you've heard that in the news.
Yesterday, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff that could happen. And I feel very passionate about, it's time we take responsibility for all that we are, good, bad, and otherwise, and create the reality that we want.
Yeah. Do you feel like, with all this going on and the soup that we're in, there's been different, obviously, because I have a podcast, I keep an eye on other podcast conversations, just what's seen out there. And many are saying there's going to be intervention at some stage, as if aliens are going to come and actually step into the planet and say, okay, enough is enough here, guys, you know. And do you think something like as radical as that could be happening in this lifetime? I mean,
I think that the disclosure of aliens is going to be from aliens. It's not going to be from humans. The humans who know about aliens, who have been working with aliens, and you know, all of those people are not going to give it up. They're going to hold on to it to the last breath. And I believe it is the aliens who will step forward, just like the incident in Florida in the mall. Everybody saw the footage. It's like those kinds of events will happen. And I think there'll be a big disclosure. The thing I don't trust is I don't trust aliens.
Oh.
They are like humans in that they have an agenda. They want our water, they want our natural resources, they want our tissue samples, they want to build hybrid species. They're super evolved, they're super smart, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're benevolent, because they are not. And I am very cautious with all things alien. I think that there is a lot of enslavement in our galaxy that people are unaware of. And I feel it's important that we remember we are infinite souls. Remember that, because that is more than anything. I mean, that is just freaking spectacular.
Exactly. So I guess if there's one take-home message, because obviously we're in such a uncertain time and everything is unknown, is really flip the lens and bring it back to ourselves and work on the healing and work on the remembrance of who we truly are, and then we will.
Yeah, that's right. And the idea of purpose. God, what's my purpose? Your purpose is to love at the deepest level of your being, and to be with the earth and communicate with her, and to be in this human form, evolving it through love and consciousness and grounding. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's so important. We want to be special and we want to be individualized. Oh, I'm this. And well, AI told me I was the chosen one to do blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've heard so many wild things, and I just want people to make it simple. Spiritualism is simple. It is so easy and it's so simple. We just want to make everything complicated,
I do.
It's not complicated.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful, Sonia. I really appreciate everything you shared on the podcast today, and I have no doubt.
Thank you.
There's so much to tap into, but just to close the podcast and reflecting on the things that we covered, is there anything you want to leave people to ponder on?
I would love for everyone to ponder on, what are you attached to? What are you attached to? Like, do you feel a pain in your shoulder? Are you attached to it? Do you have some story from your past you're still telling everybody that you're attached to? I really am a teacher of give it to God, give it to Creator, turn it over, give it up. And I mean every little thing, that twinge in your back, give it to God. That thing you're worried about at work, give it to God. Let it go, because we do not reach nirvana if we are attached. And if that is your goal, to reach nirvana, then you must look at what you're attached to and what you're holding on to.
Wow. I got to ask you a question. I can just feel people asking me, is why does being attached stop you from getting to that nirvana state? Why
to nirvana?
The surrender state, of that inner peace.
Because it holds you in a certain framework as that human experience that is not a part of nirvana. Nirvana is like we're stepping out of, it's like your body dissolving. It's like we're stepping out of the human experience while being human. But if we're attached to things, we can't move into that space.
Oh, Mate,
I know you get it.
I know. I'm just got goosebumps when you said it like that. That's such a beautiful way of framing it. And I really hope everyone listening today really contemplates on that last piece. Even let us know in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. What have you found you're attached to? And why does letting it go scare you? You know? Oh, it's beautiful. Sonja, thank you so much for today, my lovely. It's been just a...
Oh, it was so much fun. I feel like I found my long lost relative. I can't tell you how. It's great. It's great. I mean, the karmic stuff here is major. So sometime we'll have to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're more than welcome to come back on the show in the future and talk about that. That would be wonderful. Where can people find out more about your work, and where can we send them to?
My website is Sonja, Sonja, Grace, GRACE.com. I'm on Instagram, The Real Sonya Grace. I'm on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I've got a podcast on Spotify called Spirit Traveler. I'm all over the place. You can find me.
Brilliant. I'll subscribe to your podcast. I'm keen to check it out, see what you have to say on all that.
All right. Thank you.
100%. There'll be links in the show notes for everyone below to check out your work, Sonja. Thank you so much. What a joy. Thank you.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Much love.